7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey love, so if the lighting looks a little funny, it's because I've rearranged the kitchen so that we can get to the stove. Excuse me, I'm a little sleepy. So that we can get to the stove and start to make the caramel glaze for the caramel icing for the cake. So I'm gonna tell y'all what happened real quick, right? So I sat down and I fell asleep on the sofa for about 2 hours because I was real tired. So I had to touch my makeup up and stuff, and you know the cakes are cool. So now we're gonna just jump on into this video and get everything finished. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start over here in the small pan, and we're gonna pour this sugar in here, and we're going to let it start to brown and turn to a caramel sauce. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our sugar over into this pan right here, the second pan. And we're going to add in our heavy cream and our flour. Move it over so you guys can see what's going on over here too. And we're going to start to give that a little bit of a mix. So we're going to let that start to, you know, mix together. And let that sugar and stuff start to break down over there. And then we're going to come back over here to our sugar. And we're just going to let this brown, and it's going to turn into a caramel type thing. You just basically want the sugar to melt down. Make sure the heat is not up too high. Alright, so you see that doesn't really take a long time. And you want to make sure that sugar is all the way melted. Alright, now we're going to come back over here. And we're just going to start stirring. Make sure y'all can see down in that pan. Alright, so now we're going to turn that sugar glaze off. Oh, Lord. Alright. And we're going to just start letting this melt down. And you just kind of want to get all the lumps out of there at this point. Got a little bit of milk left in there. Go ahead and add that in there. You don't want to leave no milk left behind. And you just want to let this come up to a boil and start to break down. So once this comes up to a boil, then I'll be back to show you guys the second step. Alright guys, as you can see, it's starting to boil. So, I think my caramel might have heated up. I need to let it heat up again. Yep, there you go. See, I might have heated my caramel up a little, my sugar a little bit too fast. So what I had to do is just let it, you know, melt down again. It'll be fine. I hope it will. Yeah, it's starting to move again. So while that's starting to boil, I'm going to turn the camera over so we can see the caramel. And it is starting to, you know, soften up again, which is what we need. Anytime I'm doing anything that like has like a candy consistency or caramel, I always try to use a wooden spoon because I just feel like it does better. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this down, which is the cream over here. Turn this down and we're going to take 2 tablespoons of it and temper it in to the caramel. And you don't want your caramel to burn, so let me turn that down some, honey. You got to be quick. I'm going to do one more for the safety of all of us, all of our brains. And then we're going to go ahead. Ooh, child, this stuff is hot. And pour this in with the sauce. And you're just going to stir it in there. Lord, I hope I'm doing this right. Child, that caramel be smoking. I hope my fire detector don't go off, Jesus. Let me put this in the sink. Alright, so you just want to stir all of this in. What I'm going to do is grab my whisk. And then I'm supposed to bring this back up to a boil. And once this comes back up to a boil, then I'm going to pull it off of the heat, add in the butter and the vanilla, and we're going to be golden. So I'm going to let this come all the way back up to a boil, and then we'll be back to show you how to finish it out. Alright, I'm not supposed to bring it up. It says to let it cook for 10. Let me read the recipe again. To let it cook for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 10 minutes. Oh crap. I'll do 12 just to be safe. So I'm going to set my timer for 12 minutes and I'm just going to let this cook. And yeah, we almost there, y'all. We almost there. Alright, loves. So we have... Can you see me? Can you see me? Okay, so we have about... y'all too close. Woo, child. So we have about... 4 minutes left on the caramel sauce to boil, and then we're going to pull it off and add in the butter and the vanilla. So I'm going to tilt y'all back over so y'all can see. But it is boiling, and I set my timer, and I had to turn the one off on the stove, but I set the one on my phone, and we got 4 minutes, 4 minutes left. So I'm going to continue to let this boil. Then I'm going to switch everything around real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and put it into the stand mixer. Alright guys, so it's time to take it off the heat, and I'm going to move it to an eye that is not so hot. If I'm moving the camera around, watch out, it's because I'm trying to get the perfect angle. So now that we've taken it off, I'm going to take this wooden spoon and I'm going to start putting my butter in there. And you want to wait until the butter is melted. Because some of y'all get mad when I use my hands, honey. They be like the germ squad. Can y'all see that better? Alright. So now that the butter's in there, you're supposed to just keep stirring until the butter melts. Ooh, that did it. That jive. Ooh, child. Till the butter is all melted. And combine. And just make sure you're scraping down the sides too, because you don't want to leave anything left behind. And you just want to keep stirring until the butter is absorbed into it. And it's starting to do that now. Can y'all see? I want y'all to be able to see what's going on in there. Alright. And it's going to take a little bit of time for that butter to absorb into the sauce. So just keep stirring it. As y'all can see, it's starting to become one, but it does take a little bit of time. Make sure you have a wooden spoon when you're doing this, and if you've never played with candy or hot fudge or anything like this, put on some sleeves, and if you can, if you're real scared, put on some protective gloves. Because a lot of people are scared that they're going to get burned when it comes to this part. And I completely understand that, because I have been burned in the kitchen, honey. Alright, so now we're going to add in our vanilla. Alright, so that part is done. So now we're going to move back over to our regular setup, and we're going to put this into the stand mixer, because you got to mix this for 20 minutes. Alright, you guys, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour this caramel into the mixer. Now you can do this with a stand mixer, but she says with her instructions, if you do, then you want to make sure that you heat the bowl up that you're going to be using. So I'm assuming it would be a metal bowl, and you want to mix it up really well. So heat it up and mix it for 20 minutes so that everything will work fine. But this is what you need to do. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and let this start mixing for 20 minutes. If I'm moving all around, y'all forgive me. So now we're going to just let this mix down. Y'all, it's hard. Come here. Come here. Honey, it's hard trying to, ooh, back up. It is hard trying to shoot from the stove to get back in place to shoot from the camera, okay? So I'm trying to give y'all the best that I can. But y'all just pay attention to what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to let this mix for 20 minutes, and then we're going to be right back. I know I'm a little oily, forgive me. Alright, love, so I'm back, and I ended up mixing it, but my caramel started to turn to, it started turning on me, y'all. It started to, clot into little beads. So what I had to do is I had to add in more heavy cream as it was mixing to smooth it out. And I think that's the biggest problem people have with the caramel cake, is getting the caramel glaze right. But I just went back in with some heavy cream and smoothed it out, and I was fine. So now I'm just putting some in the layers. And I didn't actually let mine beat as long. It's a very, her recipe is fantastic, but caramel cake is just very temperamental. And a lot of people say they don't get it right on the first try. So I do believe that. But yeah. Let's go ahead and add on the second layer. I did have to even out the cake a little bit, because it did dome a little. So I'm going to place some on top and just spread it around, and then it says once you do this, you want to take the rest of it and place it in the freezer for 10 minutes. And I am going to do that. For some reason, mine's got a little thick, and it started to bubble up a little bit. But I ain't sweating it, because honey, I know this cake is gonna be fantastic. See, every time somebody calls me, it knocks my camera off. So yeah, I'm just spreading on the layer like she said to do, and then you let the rest of it sit in the refrigerator, in the freezer for 10 minutes. And we're gonna be cultured. I'm gonna scrape the rest of it into this glass bowl and let it chill in the freezer. This is the second time I made one, and this, I would say, it's successful. I should have put a little bit down on the cake stand so that it wouldn't wiggle around, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to take the rest of this and stick it into the freezer. I actually have a metal bowl I'm going to use. Well, she said to stick it in the freezer for 10 minutes. So I guess you'll get more of a frosting consistency after it cools down. Alright. So I'm going to put the rest of this in the freezer for 10 minutes. And then we're going to come back and wrap this video up. Cake slid a little bit. Oh Jesus. Oh child. Alright, so let me pop this into the freezer for 10 minutes and then I'll be right back, y'all. Go ahead and we're going to start icing the caramel cake. I'm going to see if I can pipe a border around it, honey. I ain't going to try too much because this cake can be a little temperamental, the icing part. I'm going to try to smooth it out as much as I can. See, I got to stay off Facebook because, you know, I was listening to Miley Cyrus singing Jolene, Jolene, don't take my man. It's original. It's by her godmother. Lord, I can't get the woman's name out my head, my mouth now. Dolly Parton. But I swear to goddamn Jesus, Lord forgive me. Miley Cyrus then sung that song better than her godmama. I ain't think Miley could sing like that. Cause she always tend to be, you know, I call her between Hannah Montana and the MTV freak. When she was humping something on stage at MTV Awards, which I was really amused by, you know. And her thug stage. I wasn't into Hannah Montana, honey. I was into the blackest hat, the blackest hat, the blackest hat. When Hannah Montana was out, honey. You know, I was doing hood things when Hannah Montana was popping. Cash Money taking over for the 99-2000. Girl, you look good. Want you back? Think look you a family? Let me chill out. Child, how do you get this ice and smooth? You know what, caramel cake ain't no joke, honey. You got to play with, you got. You got to go in with a hope and a prayer. I remember the young lady who made this cake saying it wasn't going to be pretty, but people ain't going to care. Child, she ain't never lied. Only thing I can think to do to smooth this out is to I by far think that this is the best recipe though. But the only thing I can think to do to smooth this out is to heat my spatula. Well, after you get to working it for a minute, it starts to smooth out a little bit. Ooh, Jesus. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and finish icing this. I don't like my seam showing on my cake. I'm gonna finish icing this and get it, you know, get it straight. And then I'm gonna come back and after I take a couple pictures, I'm gonna wrap this video up. What I think I'm gonna do is run my big spatula under some hot water, and then I'm gonna come back and smooth this cake out. All right, guys, y'all know that I'm super crazy. So. I literally, to smooth out the icing for this cake, all I did was I got the second layer icing on there like she said to do. It was still look a little funny to you girls. So what I did is I just took my big ass offset spatula and ran it under some hot water and let it heat up. And then I took a paper towel and wiped the excess water off. And then I just went around smoothing the cake. So you guys can see, you can still see the seam a little bit, but this cake, this is not the type of icing you can decorate a cake with. So the fact that I was able to get a border with the icing that was left and a little flour and a border around the bottom, honey, I feel like I conquered the monster. But the cake smells so delicious. Sorry if I'm looking off to the side, y'all, because the monitor, I don't know, sometimes I like to look at myself because I'm so pretty. Okay, come back, girl, come back. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is get a couple pictures for the thumbnail. I gotta make sure I get the right side of the cake, honey. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to editing this video so you guys can get this on Tuesday. So we're gonna take a couple pictures, get the thumbnail ready, you know, have a little bit of a drink, cut the cake. I thought I was thinking about taking this cake to the German American Christmas program, but I don't know how my husband will feel about that. What do y'all think? I'm gonna keep it at the house. I'm gonna keep it at the house because he might be in his feelings if I take this caramel cake at the house. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and snap a couple pictures, done on Instagram, and then we're gonna be back to wrap up this video. Okay? Okay, dark. Alright, y'all, so I'm back and we're about to wrap up this video. If the camera is a little off, I'm sorry. I've been moving around a lot today. Y'all, this damn cake is so good. Like, I was trying to be polite and not eat the whole slice when I was doing my little photo shoot, but damn, this cake is delicious. Honey girl, this recipe, y'all go over there and show her some love, because this recipe was fantastic. It's not too heavy, it's not too sweet, it's not grainy. The only issue I had is when I put the caramel into the mixer, it started to turn into little beads. So what I did is I just went in and I added a little bit of heavy cream to smooth it out, and just started stirring and let the lever up and just went in and scraped the bowl down, and then it started to smooth out, and then I added in a little more heavy cream. At that point, you just kind of need to eyeball it if it does start to beat up on you. I should have recorded that part, but I didn't because it happened so quick. But that is it. Once I went back in and added the heavy cream to stop it from beating, turning into little balls, it smoothed out just perfectly. So yeah, that was pretty much the only problem I had with it. Other than that, the icing is perfect. I was able to do a little bit of decorations on the cake, as you guys can see. Nothing too much. If you want the cake to look a little bit more presentable, all you need to do is take some hot water, dip your spatula, if you have a spatula or a butter knife that you're frosting this cake with, whatever you're using, make sure it's metal, dip it in some hot water, take a paper towel, wipe the excess water off, and just go through and smooth out the cake. That's the only thing you have to do to smooth out the cake. Other than that, this recipe was fantastic. Just remember, you got to work fast when you're making the caramel syrup. Like, I turned the heat off on my sugar, and it kind of, the caramel sugar, as you guys can see in the video, and it kind of started to harden, so I had to turn it back on. So just make sure that you're paying attention when you're doing that part. Excuse me, my throat dry, y'all. I've been talking a lot. But yeah, that is the only thing, the only tips I can give you for this cake. Other than that, this is a wonderful cake. I Heart Recipes, I hope I'm getting her name right. I'm going to link her video down below, and you can go over to her page, look at the video, and then from there, click on her website, and the recipe is on there, and she gives you step-by-step instructions on how to make this cake. I can't say anything bad about this cake. This cake is effing delicious. It only takes a small piece to satisfy you. I know my husband is going to love this cake. I am going to slice up a couple pieces and take it over to my neighbors, and tomorrow I'm going to cut a chunk for my husband to keep in the house, and then the rest of it is going to go to his job, because we really don't need to eat all this, even though it's a whole bunch of delicious and it's caramel just like me. But yeah, I'm going to taste it for y'all. But y'all, she's so moist. She's so moist. You could just, you know, just rub your fork across her. She's stupid good. I don't like her, but I love her. Sweet baby Jesus, help us, Lord. Thank Jesus for the Lord. And it's Let me get out here because I gotta get ready, switch my clothes out, touch my makeup, throw a couple more curls in my hair, because I have a program to be at 5 o'clock, 5:15. Other than that, I love you guys. Remember to treat people the way you want to be treated. Try to stay in holiday spirit. I am going to be going live a little bit this month to talk to you guys about some other things that I've been trying to get together. I know everything happens when it's supposed to, but man, I am really trying to do some big things this year coming up. So hopefully you guys will stick it out with me and continue to show me love and that hopefully the channel will continue to grow. We are almost at 6,000, so I am just praying, y'all, that we get to 6,000 by the end of the year. I can't ask for anything more. 10,000 would be great, but 6,000 is what I'm aiming for before we hit 2019. With that being said, I love you guys. I'll see y'all back here. Remember, food is love, and be kind to your neighbors.